Yo, what's going on? How y'all doing? Now you might be wondering, is this guy capping? Is he really 100-0? I did not cap. I literally went 100-0 in the park. 100-fucking-0! So that should automatically tell you that I'm a fucking sweat and I know what the hell I'm talking about when it comes to shooting or just playing this game in general. And throughout my journey, I learned a lot about the shooting on this game. So I guarantee you I will make you a better shooter if you listen to what I have to say about these badges. And I will not lie, that journey to 100-0 was not easy. I had some very nerve-wracking moments, especially the last game. So if you want to see how I went 100-0, I need 100 likes on this video, and I will drop that shit. I'm telling you, it's a must watch. I'm about to break down certain badges that are necessary and ones that you think are necessary but aren't. If you need actual proof to see if I'm a good shooter or not, just watch what I'm doing right here. Look at this shit. Look, just greens, bro. Okay, you might be thinking now that,
oh, he's a stretch big. He doesn't know what badges are good for play shots or any other type of build.
Not true at all. This shooting badge breakdown goes for all types of builds, I guarantee. Got y'all, bro. I'm gonna be breaking down every single shooting badge with actual gameplay of me shooting and shit. So without further ado, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We do this shit. If you want the best build, by the way, and the best jump shot, I already have them on my channel. Just click in the description, link in there. Make sure you put the noties on so you know when I drop these shooting tips, shooting breakdowns, or whatever. Turn that shit on right now, but either way, let's get into it. We need to buy some boosts real quick. Let's say what's up. Bro, I come to find out there's a whole nother boost stand lady in the Antia, bro. Ain't nobody tell me about her. She is bad as hell. I'm never going to that bitch again. I don't care how far I gotta go. I'm staying here. Fuck that other boost stand lady. I don't give a damn. You bad as hell, shorty. What's good with you? Yo, what's good, daddy? What the fuck? Alright, so there's certain badges I won't be going over. Difficult shots, fade ace, circus threes, and slippery off ball. Just because these badges are basically useless. Unless you're Ticino and you use difficult shots or circus threes, but they're not gonna really help you the whole game unless you play like him. First one we got though is blinders. This badge was really OP on 2K21 Next Gens that they had to nerf it. Alright, so blinders now on 2K22 isn't nerfed or overpowered. It's kind of in the middle. But this badge is only worth it for guards, because when a guard is isoing and you hit him with a hesitation quick first step, they're behind you and then they're trying to catch up to you. Let's say you stop for the midi at that point. Boom, they're on the side of you, blinders activates. That doesn't really happen with stretch bigs or with spot ups. They're not really moving as much as guards, right? So blinders wouldn't really activate. They'd usually be in front of you. That's why I'm saying if you're a guard, in no matter situation, screens or isoing, so I'd put it on Hall of Fame for guards. But for centers and spot ups, I'd probably wouldn't put it on at all, or maybe if you have some extra ones, I'd put it on silver. It could be worth it at that point. But so for any guard out there that knows how to dribble, this is a tier 1 badge that you need to put on. All right, now my personal favorite that I've always loved, and honestly it's the best badge for spot ups and stretch bigs, but for guards it's obviously a little different. Your guard isn't going to be catch and shooting anything, he's going to be dribbling, but there is certain situations where you might need catch and shoot and it might be important, like when you want a dex off ball movement and then catch and then shoot the ball. For a guard, I'd put this as a maybe tier 2 tier 3 type of badge, bronze or silver type of badge depending on your playstyle. Obviously Hall of Fame tier 1 badge for stretch bigs and spot ups. All right, just for the sake of confusion, I'm gonna break down here chef and limitless spot up. I'm gonna break them down right now because there's so many people out there that don't understand what each one does. I'm gonna start with limitless spot up. It says here, gives a boost to the range that a player can effectively shoot standing 3-point shots. Standing 3-point shots does not mean catch and shoot. You can catch and shoot the ball because you're standing still, or you can dribble, then stop dribbling, and then you're standing still, and then you shoot. That's what standing still 3-point shots mean. Now the chef badge gives a boost to the range that a player can effectively shoot off the dribble 3-point shots. The phrase off the dribble has confused so many people for so many years, even me. Off the dribble means dribbling the ball and then fading away. Doing all these fadeaways and stuff from deep range activates chef badge, not the limitless spot up badge. And a badge that can back me up in my reasoning right now is the stop and pop badge. Boost shot rating on standstill 3-pointers after dribbling. Standstill 3-pointers is connected with the limitless spot up badge, which is standing 3-point shots. They go together. And those two badges are essential for guards, by the way. But the chef badge is for fadeaways only. Fadeaway deep threes. That's it. There's nothing else to it. The limitless spot up badge has nothing to do with the chef badge. They're both deep range shots, but different type of shots. You know what I'm saying? So I hope you understood what I was saying, but when it comes to the importance of the chef badge, it's not really essential for any type of build. By the way, you can use this badge correctly, but you need it on Hall of Fame. If you're gonna be doing deep fadeaways all game and that's your playstyle, then use this on Hall of Fame, because fadeaways do go in this year and it's a lot easier to shoot. So this badge is really good for that. So it's really up to you. But yeah. All right, now clutch shooter is a badge that I kind of like a lot, but not because it's really important, but because it gives such a good boost when the moment happens. Let's say you have this on Hall of Fame, right? And the score is 19-19 in a twos game or whatever. You have a really good high chance of making it if you have this on Hall of Fame. The amount of whites that I made when I had this on and green, the green window increases so much, but the chances of this moment actually being beneficial is not that high, because how many times have you been on a twos game and you had this badge on hoping that there would be a close game? I'd have it on maybe silver just in case. I don't know, that's up to you. That's my preference. I'd keep this as a tier 2 badge for both stretch bigs and guards. So yeah. All right, the next badge is corner specialist. Now this one is the most important badge for spot ups in the corner, like the lockdowns. Any spot up, this badge needs to be. There's different combinations between corner specialist and catch and shoot. Maybe gold is the best position for this badge, but honestly, if you're a guard, by the way, you shouldn't be using this badge unless you're doing this one specific thing, which is fading into the corner. Fading into the corner with this badge is really helpful for making that shot. I remember I used to do that and I believe it does still work. That's only a specific situation. Other than that, it's not an important badge for guards. Tier 1 badge for spot ups in the corner and tier 2 for stretch bigs. All right, Deadeye is an important badge that I need to talk about with y'all. If you guys played the game already, you could tell that the contest system is a little different. You can contest shit a lot easier now, and contested shots do not go in like they used to. Here's a clip of me grading a 12% contested shot with Deadeye Hall of Fame. I'm not sure exactly what this means, if it means that Deadeye is an actual good badge to use, but from what I'm seeing, I'd use it on Hall of Fame no matter what build you. Alright, now Green Machine is another badge that I gotta test out in game. I tested it out on silver because I didn't have enough shooting badges to test it out on Hall of Fame. From what I was seeing, it wasn't really as effective as I thought. Maybe it's because it was on silver. Obviously, once you green 2 shots, then this badge activates and your green window increases. So I'd have faith in this badge at Hall of Fame and I'd just keep going with it. I'd say it's a tier 1 badge for both stretch bigs and guards. Especially with how easy it is to shoot, this badge could make shit a lot more easy. I would be cautious with this. I'm gonna test this badge out more later, but tier 1 so far for guards and spot ups and all that. I hope you guys enjoyed the video so far. If you have, make sure you subscribe and put the noties on so you know when I'm dropping these type of videos. I'm breaking the shit down of these badges right now, man. But let's get into it. Let's get into Hot Zone Hunter. Hot Zone Hunter is an obvious badge. It gives you a boost when you shoot in the hot zone. This badge shouldn't be put on first when you're first getting your badges because you don't have hot zones. If you try and put this badge on and you don't have hot zones, it's useless. It's like trying to start a car but there's no fucking battery. Damn, I'm an analogy demon, yo, what the fuck? But when you do have your hot zones, this badge is amazing every year. It helps every type of build, especially the ones with low 3-pointers. If you have your 3-pointer in the 60s or something, then this badge on Hall of Fame is the most important badge that you need. I'd still see it as a really important badge either way for all types of builds. I'm putting this tier 1, stretch big, spot ups, and guard. Alright, so if you saw my breakdown earlier on of Limitless spot up and chef, you know that Limitless spot up gives you a boost to standing still 3-point shots from deep. So that can be catch and shoot, or that can be dribbling, then standing still, and then shooting the ball from deep. So that's what this badge does. And I don't see how this badge can't be tier 1 for any build at all, unless you're a spot up from the corner. Lucky number 7 is a really fun badge that I'm glad they added to 2K, but I'm sad that it's not as useful as people think it is. Basically what the badge does is if you shoot the ball within 7 seconds of the shot clock, so before the shot clock hits 17 seconds, then you get a boost to a mid-range or 3-point jump shot. Now you gotta think, how often is this badge really useful? If you're playing 3s or 5v5 or any full court game, this badge is absolutely useless most of the time. How many times can you think that you can score the ball within 7 seconds on a full court game? It doesn't really happen as often unless the defense isn't playing defense at all. But on the 2s, it might be useful depending on your playstyle. On the inbound, you might like to dex to the corner or dex move off ball to get the ball and shoot early in the shot clock. That's how I kind of play. I like to shoot as early as possible, get the defense lacking. So I kind of tested this badge out already, and I did like how I could green more shots with it even on silver. I had it on silver and I was greening more than I did without it. So it could be useful like that. It's a good badge to have, but it depends on the situation. It's a situational badge. Playing against comp, you're not gonna get these type of shots off. Then I wouldn't really rank it up there as a must-have badge. I put it as a tier 3 badge for both guards and stretch bigs and spot ups. Now, Mismatch Expert is a good badge that they added. After forcing the switch, a player with this badge will have more success when shooting over taller defenders. Now, what they mean by taller defenders is someone that is at least 1 inch taller. But the thing is, it's only after forcing the switch. So if you're guarding another guard, like if you're 6 foot and he's 6'1", that doesn't count as a mismatch. This doesn't activate the badge because you're guarding each other. There has to be a switch, so that's why they have this badge, so that switch can activate this badge. This badge could be really useful depending on how good you are at getting that switch to happen as a guard. If you're good at making that switch happen, then this badge is for you, bro. I'm telling you. But if you like ISOing, take this off. Do not even use it. If you use this shit on a stretch big, what the fuck is wrong with you? Who the hell is gonna be taller than you on a switch? This is the most useless shit you could do. Use Mismatch Expert on a fucking center. I'm not gonna lie, I might troll with that shit. But if you're good at getting that switch, I'm guessing since they did add it, and maybe it is a really effective badge to use, but I'm not sure how effective yet. I tested it out on Hall of Fame to see how it worked. I'd keep it maybe as a tier 2 badge for guards, because I'm not sure how often the switch even happens. It's up to you though. You gotta test it out, see how you play. Rhythm Shooter is a big badge if you're good at breaking down your defender, because basically this badge does is it increases the chances of a made shot after sizing up your opponent with dribble moves. So if you combo up with dribble moves and stuff like that, if you're good at comboing up and you use it against your defender, then this badge could be really useful for you. In my head, I'm imagining someone doing like breaking down the defender, then doing like a little step back. This is where that badge comes in handy a lot. But if you're not able to break down your defender, like if you're using a screen and you're hiding behind the screen, then you can't really use this badge. You're not really doing any dribble moves. You're just doing the speed moves left and right. I know I might get some guards mad, but you know, most of you do this shit. It's all good though. You don't need this badge if you're playing like that. But I'd keep it as a tier 2 badge as well for now. All right, now Set Shooter. Set Shooter, it says it gives you a shot boost after standing still before taking a jump shot. I'm not sure if this is really an effective badge, because how often are you gonna be that open for you to wait for a certain amount of time and then shoot the ball? Most of the time you're going to be getting closed out on by a defender, and that's when Deadeye is going to activate. It's already easy enough to shoot on this game. It's not really a useful badge in my eyes, especially with how easy it is to shoot this year. I'd put it maybe as a tier 3 for guards and maybe a tier 2 for spot ups and stretch bigs. Depending on the situation, it doesn't really happen that often, but I'll put it up there like that for now. Now, Sniper is a badge that a lot of people thought it was going to be really useful before the game came out. Let's take a look at what it says. Jump shots taken with slightly early, slightly late timing will receive a boost, while early or late shots will receive a bigger penalty. So basically, if you have this on Hall of Fame and you time your shot slightly late or slightly early, then you have an even higher chance of making that shot. But if you time your shot horribly, like early or late, then you're not making that shot at all, especially if you have this shit on Hall of Fame. It's kind of like that badge on 2K21. They got rid of it here, but it was flexible release. If you would have timed your shot early or late, then you would have got a boost on your shot. But with Sniper, they gave a penalty and a reward depending on which one you got. But knowing how this game is this year, if you've played it, a lot of shots, it's easy to shoot. Like, you can make hella whites. There's even full bars going in this year, which is kind of cool, I guess. But the point is, getting slightly early or slightly late isn't going to change much with this badge, especially because most whites go in. And on either build, especially if you're a guard with a higher 3-pointer, you're gonna make more whites. Maybe Sniper on a stretch big or spot up could be kind of useful, but I'd keep it a tier 3 badge, only if you have extra shooting badges. But other than that, nah. All right, so Stop and Pop is a really big badge for any build. I'll tell you why right now. It says boost shot rating on standstill 3-pointers after dribbling. So let's say you take a dribble and then you stop and then you shoot a 3. That's where this badge comes in handy. This badge combined with Limitless spot up is lethal. That combination is lethal. As a point guard, you need this badge because literally you're the point guard. You're gonna be dribbling the ball. So that's why I feel this badge needs to be on Hall of Fame. It's a tier 1 badge. But as a stretch big though, this is situational depending on how you play. Sometimes like I dribble and then I stop and shoot the ball because it's just how I play. That's how I do it. So don't forget that this badge is for 3-pointers, not mid-ranges. You can't walk up to the mid-range and do it. For a guard though, 100% useful, tier 1. For a stretch big, I'd put it tier 1 myself, but generally tier 2 or tier 3. I'll keep it tier 2 though, just because I'm biased. That's how it is. It's a really good badge. Now the final badge we got is Volume Shooter, another really big one that has been good for many years. After a player has taken a small handful of shots, an additional boost to shot attributes is given for every subsequent shot, whether it's make or miss. That make or miss part is the most important part of this badge, because whether you miss it or make it, you're gonna get a bonus after a couple shots. So for example, let's say you're a guard guard playing on the twos with a person setting you screens. You're gonna be taking most of the shots, right? Most of the time, the guard is gonna be shooting 3-pointers. So that's when this badge is really important and really good to use. You might not need it in Hall of Fame because your 3-point rating might be already high, especially with Hot Zone Hunter. But if you're a guard with like a lower 3-pointer, like in the 80s or the 70s or even the 60s, you need this badge on Hall of Fame. You're gonna be taking most of the shots as a guard. As a spot up, this badge isn't really as useful because you're not gonna be shooting as many shots. You have to analyze who you're playing with and how you guys are playing. Basically, if you're shooting a lot of shots, then this is a really good badge to have. Tier 1 badge, but if you're not, then it's tier 2. But yeah, it's a pretty situational badge. So yeah. All right, that was it for the badge breakdown. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys learned the difference between certain badges, which badges are useful, which are useless, and the difference between certain ones like the Chef and Limitless spot up. And I hope you guys take into consideration the combination of certain badges like Chef and Circus 3s, Stop and Pop, and Limitless spot up especially is another. That's a big one right there. I hope so. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you subscribe, put the noties on, and like this video. Share it with your friends or whatever you gotta do. Let me quickly go through the tier badges so you just to remind y'all which ones are the most important for guards. So the tier 1 badges for guards that I broke down are here. So we got Blinders, Deadeye, Limitless spot up, Hot Zone, Green Machine, Volume Shooter, and Stop and Pop. I don't know how many upgradable badges you got as a guard. Depending on your 3-pointer, you might have less. So maybe you can make some adjustments. You might not need Blinders, Volume Shooter. You can make some adjustments. Maybe you might not need Green Machine. But these are the tier 1 badges for guards that are absolutely the best ones that you can have. So all right, so the tier 2 badges for guards, we got Mismatch Expert and Rhythm Shooter. It's just a tier 2 badge in my eyes. They're not absolutely necessary to win games. They're just there just in case the situation happens. All right, so the tier 3 badges for guards, they're all like literally, these are all the situational badges. How often are you going to be open enough to activate Set Shooter? How often can you get a shot off within 7 seconds of the shot clock? And how often are you going to be in a clutch situation on the 2s or the 3s for this to activate? But I put it bronze because that extra boost is pretty important and could be beneficial. All right, so these are the tier 1 badges for spot ups and stretch bigs. I put corner specialist to gold. I put it as like a tier 1.5. It's not really that necessary because you got other badges like catch and shoot, Deadeye, and Hot Zone that are way more important, and Green Machine. So it just depends on how many shooting badges you have available. Yeah, but yeah, these are the most important badges when it comes to spotting up as a stretch big or any spot up build. All right, so for the tier 2 badges for spot ups and stretch bigs, we got Blinders, Stop and Pop, and Volume Shooter. All really good badges depending on your play style. If you like dribbling the ball as a stretch big sometimes you might even have to, then Stop and Pop is a good badge combined with Blinders. And even Volume Shooter, you might be taking a lot of shots, who knows? So it could be a useful badge. These are the tier 2 badges for those. And these are the tier 3. So the tier 3 badges for spot ups and stretch bigs, we got Set Shooter, Sniper, Lucky Number 7, and Clutch Shooter. Now Clutch Shooter obviously depends on the situation. You might not get into that situation that often, but I put it in there just because. Lucky Number 7 also another. These are all situational badges like I was saying with the guards. How often can this really happen? Sniper, it depends on the spot ups and stretch bigs have lower 3-pointers, so and it could help you make that shot, but if the game gets harder to shoot, then this badge goes up. Also Set Shooter, this doesn't really happen that often, I'm gonna be honest, but it's a tier 3 badge, so you know what. But yeah, that was it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed that breakdown. Take my advice as a point guard, as a shooter, any shooter build, those are the best badges to use. Make sure you subscribe if you like what I'm talking about, if you enjoy my content. But other than that, putting your boy Trouble, let me know y'all record in the comments if you got a good record or what, and bad record, I don't care. Y'all have a good night or good day, and I'm out. Peace.